my tunnel music. Like cut that confetti, I'm running through it. Like play that whole lane, I'm running through it. And if they run at me, let my youngins do it.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the Sunshine State. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Sunshine State at Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Two teams on opposite ends of the Sunshine State. The Jags and Dolphins are underway. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
Tua to throw right away. Throw caught by Achane. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action. Now it's Tua. He'll dump this off to Achane.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From midfield, here's Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 39. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that's one way, and a good way, to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Running right, here's Achane. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That tackle by Trayvon Walker. Nice play. He blows that up behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Steps away. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit. And he gets a small gain on the play.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Again, it's Achane. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Looking to pass. Tua. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are on the board first here this afternoon.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits are on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was Tua Tagovailoa who called his own number and finished it off with the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. They're led by the #1 overall pick of the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior, whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and he's doing everything in his power to follow through.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Etienne up the middle. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. Here's 3rd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. They go play action now. Lawrence. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, here's Tua. And that one too wide and incomplete.
You still hold your breath a little as a defense when Tua gets out of the pocket. You're worried about him scrambling and getting a first down. But there, he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, Achane. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
3rd and 2. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on 3rd down. Even better decision.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
In motion, Hill. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 5. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. In motion, Hill. They'll run, Achane. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Dolphins go up by 2 touchdowns. Sanders on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it was Devon Achane who finished things off with a touchdown reception. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now a 2nd and 2. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Now Lawrence. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know it was a gain,
but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
It was Devon Achane who's had the strong first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A 2-touchdown game, 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10. At their own 28-yard line. They'll look to ETN to start things out. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 5. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now Lawrence. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 23. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10.
At about the 32. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
To throw, Huntley.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line. They'll start out here with the option left. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
On 3rd down, here's Bigsby.
And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Lawrence.
A short throw to Ingram. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Lawrence will throw.
Thomas has got it, complete. Now a loose football, the ball comes out, and he's got this down to the 35. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Javon Holland coming up to make the stop.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. Motion man left is Kirk. Here's Lawrence. That's complete to Parker Washington. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. And he'll get it right back to Washington.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
But look what we have here. A sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
This will be caught at about the 6. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th.
ETN on the toss right.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
He'll get that underneath to ETN.
And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Going for it, here's ETN.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Travis Etienne.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Jags are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Extra point attempt to come here. And that one makes it 14-7. So that one a 13-play drive in total.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here, all right? Let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Play action. Now it's Tua. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick six.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
Now the try here for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This crowd alive again. Some were headed for the exits, but a 4th quarter comeback has tied things up as the kick is away here. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
They will look to flush the memory of that pick six as we now have a brand new tie ball game here in the 4th quarter, getting down to the good stuff. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 24. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. He's going to look deep down the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Got him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Here's 2nd and 10. A run straight ahead with Achane.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And taken right at the 35. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
A good head down running on the return. Gets about 15 yards.
And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
Right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Now Lawrence to throw. He's got Thomas yet again complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Straight ahead, ETN. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. On first down, right back to ETN. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then dropped just inside the 20. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here comes second down at 5. Back to throw. Lawrence. And he's got his big wide receiver complete.
And the Jaguars are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal, looking to take the lead here in the late going.
On first and 10, it's Bigsby.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Jaguars have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
And that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So Tua and the Dolphins
down 21-14. Less than 90 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down.
Throwing Tua. Throw caught by Achane. And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it. Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Tua.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Now Tua. They'll let this go deep for Waddle.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
They'll let this go deep for Waddle.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. Tua. The throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua.
And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Lawrence to a knee, and that will write a finish to this one.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
What a thrilling fourth quarter this one was. Well, at least I guess if you're cheering for the winning side, an outstanding comeback, though, that saw them completely take control and change the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of us saw that coming, the way that they were playing and having the lead after 3 quarters. A little bit of a stunning ending because it wasn't just a one-touchdown swing. It was a multiple touchdown swing for them to end up losing that ball game. Give credit where credit is due. They came off the pace and got it done.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.